You search for a flight. It's $280. You check again 2 hours later. It's $340. You clear your cookies, try incognito mode, and it's still $340. What happened? The answer isn't cookies. It's a pricing system so sophisticated that 80% of airlines now use AI to set every fare, every second, on every route. Here's exactly how it works. Airlines don't set prices the way stores do. There's no fixed price tag. Every seat on every flight has a different price depending on when you buy it, how full the plane is, what competitors are charging, and what the algorithm predicts you're willing to pay. This system is called revenue management, and it's been around since the 1980s when American Airlines invented it to compete with discount carrier People Express. Today, it's powered by machine learning models that process millions of data points per second. Companies like Pros, Amadeus, and Sabre build the software. Airlines like Lufthansa and Delta use AI models called large market models that predict demand weeks in advance. The goal? Sell every seat at the highest price the market will bear. Here's something most travelers never see. When you search for a flight, you see one price. But behind that price is a system of fare classes, invisible buckets labeled with letters that determine everything about your ticket. Economy isn't just economy. There are up to 26 fare classes on a single flight. Why is full fare economy? It's fully refundable, fully changeable, and earns the most miles. It can cost 5 to 8 times more than a basic economy seat on the same plane. Below Y, you have M, B, H, K, Q, L, T, V, and more. Each letter means a different price, different change rules, different refund rules, and different mileage earning rates. Business class has its own ladder. J is full fare business. D and I are discounted business. First class uses F for full fare and A for discounted. The cheapest economy letters, like G, U, and O, are basic economy. No seat selection, no overhead bin, no changes, no refunds. Same flight, same departure time, same destination, but 12 different prices. The core of airline pricing is demand forecasting. Airlines don't react to demand. They predict it. Revenue management systems analyze years of historical booking data for every route. They know that Flight 412 from New York to London fills 87% of economy seats by 14 days before departure, on average. They know business travelers book 7 to 10 days out. They know leisure travelers book 30 to 60 days out. When bookings come in faster than the model expects, the algorithm opens higher fare classes and closes cheaper ones. When bookings lag, it drops prices to stimulate demand. This happens continuously, not once a day or once a week. Modern systems from Pros and FetchAir adjust prices up to 300 times per flight, per day. The algorithm also factors in day of week, time of year, local events, school holidays, weather forecasts, and even macroeconomic indicators. A Taylor Swift concert in a city? The AI knows that 3 months before tickets even go on sale. Load factor is the percentage of seats filled on a flight. In 2026, the global average is 84%. That means airlines are already running near capacity, which gives them enormous pricing power. Here's the math that matters. An airline breaks even at around 75 to 80% load factor. Every seat sold above that is nearly pure profit. So the algorithm's real job is to fill those last 20% of seats at the highest possible price. If demand is strong, prices climb steeply in the final 2 weeks. If demand is soft, last-minute deals appear. But here's the catch. Airlines would rather fly with empty seats than sell them cheap. A discounted seat today trains passengers to wait for deals tomorrow. Revenue management models optimize for long-term revenue, not just today's flight. The ticket price you see is never the full cost. Airlines layer on fees that aren't visible until checkout. In 2026, fuel surcharges alone add $35 to $85 per round trip, depending on the carrier and route. Air France and KLM average $57 per flight in surcharges. Jet fuel costs jumped 18 to 22% since January 2026, and airlines are passing roughly 10 to 11% of that directly to passengers. Long-haul routes absorb the biggest increases. Then there are the ancillary fees. Check bags, $30 to $75 each way. Seat selection, $5 to $80. Priority boarding, $10 to $25. In-flight Wi-Fi, $8 to $20. For budget airlines like Ryanair and Spirit, these extras can double the base fare. A $49 ticket becomes $140 after bags and seats. The advertised price is the floor, not the ceiling. The biggest pricing lever you control is when you book. Google Flights analyzed millions of searches and found that the sweet spot for domestic flights is exactly 38 days before departure. For international flights, 50 to 101 days out delivers the lowest average fares. Booking too early doesn't help. Airlines initially price new routes high to capture early bookers willing to pay a premium. Prices typically drop as the departure date approaches, hit a floor in that sweet spot window, then climb sharply in the final 2 weeks as business travelers and last-minute bookers fill remaining seats. Christmas fares are cheapest 32 to 73 days before the holiday. Spring break fares bottom out 43 days before departure on average. Summer Europe flights? Book by early March for the best rates. And the cheapest day to fly? Tuesday, at 14% less than Sunday departures. Monday and Wednesday are close behind. Friday, surprisingly, has become competitive in 2026, partly because business travelers now fly Thursday evening instead. Airlines watch each other obsessively. Pricing systems scrape competitor fares every few minutes through industry data feeds called ATPCO and platforms like OAG. When one airline drops a fare, competitors match within hours, sometimes minutes. This is why flash sales spread so quickly. When Frontier drops a $29 fare from Denver to Las Vegas, Southwest's algorithm detects it and decides whether to match, undercut, or hold. The decision depends on how many seats each airline has left and their individual load factor targets. It also explains why prices on routes with only 1 or 2 carriers are consistently higher. Competition compresses margins. Monopoly routes, like many regional airports, let airlines charge 40 to 60% more than competitive routes of similar distance. Let's kill the myths. Number 1. Incognito mode saves you money. False. Airlines price fares based on market demand, not your browser cookies. Google, Kayak, and Skyscanner have all confirmed this. Your search history doesn't change the airline's price. Number 2. Tuesday at 2 p.m. is the cheapest time to book. Also false. This was true in the early 2000s when airlines loaded fares weekly on Monday night. Modern systems update prices continuously. There is no magic hour. Number 3. Clearing cookies resets prices. False. Flight search engines cache results locally for speed, which can show stale prices. But the actual airline fare is the same regardless of your cookies. Number 4. Buying 1 seat at a time is cheaper than buying 2 together. This one is actually true sometimes. If only 1 seat remains in a cheap fare class, searching for 2 passengers forces both into the next price tier. Searching individually can save $50 to $200 on some routes. Here's what you can actually do. First, set Google Flights price alerts on your routes 3 to 4 months before travel. The algorithm notifies you when fares drop. Second, book domestic flights 38 days out, international 50 to 100 days out. Third, fly Tuesday, Wednesday, or Saturday for the lowest fares. Fourth, always search for 1 passenger at a time, then book separately if the price is lower. Fifth, compare the base fare plus all fees, not just the ticket price. A $200 fare with $80 in fees is worse than a $250 fare with everything included. What's the biggest pricing surprise you've experienced? Drop it in the comments. And if this data changed how you think about booking, subscribe for more data-driven travel guides every week.